We are doing Tripura Rahasyam chapter 3 verse 47-48a. The satisfied prince in turn went to the city, taking her King Muktachuda, who was extremely satisfied, conducted his marriage with proper rites consequent on the sacred precepts of for a great celebration. Afterwards, the prince, for his part, was united with her in palaces, forest range, sandy beaches, and the like, wholly engaged in pastimes. So now, this is a very interesting part where the young prince has taken the girl to show his father, Muktachuda, saying that here I have this girl, and he tells his father everything about who she is and all that. And the father assents and says, yes, you can get married to her. And remember, she is also from a royal lineage. I hope you remember that. Her father and her mother are actually divinities, kind of. Her father is a king of a particular place and her mother is a celestial maiden, though she is also married. And this child was found by Vyagrapada, who raised it. So naturally the lineage is good enough. So the father agrees, Muktachuda agrees for his son Hemchuda to get married to Hemalekha. If you see verse 46, her name was then given in the end. Therefore handed over that Hemalekha to him for marriage. So Hemalekha is now getting married, and after marriage, I am sure most of you who are married over here have a clarity how this works. There is always the first night, and then there is always honeymoon period. People go to different places. They enjoy their marital bliss like that. So they go for holidays. Now here he is giving an idea. Took her to palaces, forest range, sandy beaches. So that means you can imagine he had literally taken her all over the place. In life, this is exactly how it works. And the one thing that they have in mind is conjugal bliss. Basically, they are only interested in that, no, nothing else. Okay? Just enjoyment. It's all about sex. So because there is too much of flow of these, great juices in a body, and that is why that is the only focus in life. Now the funny part about this is, all this has happened. Now let us see what happens. The prince, seeing Hemalekha not very much desirous of enjoyment and always indifferent to pleasure, asks her in solitude somewhere, "Dear, why are you not attached to me, your beloved and enamored of you, sweet smiling one? Why are you not very much intent on enjoyment? Are not objects of enjoyment here appropriate to your desire? Whence is this attitude of yours? You appear to me as unattached even to enjoyment, which are very excellent. How can my union with you give pleasure when you are devoid of attachments? Even when I am strongly attached to you, you appear as one with a mind gone to another. Though spoken to repeatedly, you just do not hear anything. Perceiving me come and united with you in embrace even for a long time, you ask as if unknown, when did you come? Your mind does not fasten upon enjoyments, which are lovely and difficult to be attained anywhere. For what reason do you not join in rejoicing at anything? Whenever I approach you, separated from me at that time, I see you remaining with your closed eyes. When you are averse to enjoyment, tell me how there can be delight in the pleasures of senses for me, as for one who is united with a woman made of wood. Setting aside your wish, nothing whatever is desired or undertaken by me. I am one following you in every way as the white water lily follows moonlight. Dear one, greater than my life, tell me how that heart of yours is in this manner averse to pleasure, so that my mind can become clear. Dear, you are bound by my oath. I am sure this whole conversation, which is one-sided, where the prince is talking to his wife. Now remember, both these husband and wife are bound in matrimony. As per our culture, when a person is bound in matrimony, they are seemed to be married forever, literally. It is accepted in that terms. Because we have seven feras in our life. Seven feras means 7 times we go around the fire. So there is a kind of a oath taken by both of them to serve each other, just like Christians also do the same thing, isn't it? They also have to promise and they have to say I do and so on. So it's the same thing which goes for both these people also. That means the son of Muktachuda and his wife, both of them. Now think about it. Here is Hemlekha and Hemchuda sitting in one place, and that girl who is so beautiful, so pretty, I mean she's literally like an angel, is showing no interest whatsoever. She just lies like a log of wood. Do what you want to. Think like that. This person, he is touching her, caressing her, doing whatever, and he said very clearly, I take your permission to do it. Do you understand? So he is not raping her or anything like that. So please understand, there is no such thing as forcefully doing anything. He is not doing anything wrong. So basically that is the tenet of marriage. You are supposed to be doing all these things. And yet, this girl is totally like a rock or a dead wood. She is not at all interested. She is showing absolutely zero interest in whatever is happening. She doesn't even know that he has come near her. Okay? She is behaving as if nothing has happened. And she asks him when he comes near her, oh, you have come. How does that sound? Imagine, he is doing all the activities which are mentioned, and yet the girl seemed to be totally unattached to any of these things. Now, the aspect over here is, naturally the person who is married to her is going to have a lot of doubts. Think about it. If there is a person, okay, in marriage, if there is one person thinking of another person outside that place while making love, what does it mean? Is that person over there? No, that is not there. Because that person is visualizing in the mind's eye somebody else. Is it being truthful to that person? Do you know our Indians as well as even foreigners, of course? Now, they all go through this. The jealousy factor and all this comes up too much. Yesterday I had gone to get a haircut. I was sitting over there, and you know, in all these places they have a huge TV. There was a TV playing over there and something was going on. I don't understand that language. So naturally, the barber was, he was trying to have a conversation with me. And I was only listening to what he was saying. He said that there is a place over here called Vijayanagar. Okay, so there was a young couple who got married. So when this couple got married, now they have been married for a few years now, 3-4 years. This woman, when this person, he was an auto rickshaw driver, when this auto rickshaw driver went out to work, another person would come home and they would have a roaring affair. So the husband came to know about it. Auto rickshaw driver came to know about it. So he told her, what kind of a marriage is this? And they had a divorce. This woman gets married to her lover. Okay? When she is getting married to her lover, some 2-3 months went by, a few months went by. While she is married to this man, she is thinking of her previous husband. Oh, he was a great person. He was like this. He would do this to me. He would do that to me. You are no longer the same person that I met. That person was very good. I should not have got married to you. I should have stayed in the... She started talking like this. And this was a very beautiful story given by my barber. Remember this. He was just telling me the story as if, it's like a movie going on. I said, then what happened? Oh, you know what this fellow did? He took a chopper and he went and killed this woman and the ex-husband of hers, and took them in the jungle and threw the bodies away. Now, I want you to think how this thing works. A person is thinking of somebody else. This person is going to be extremely jealous. Marriage is like that. It's all about possession. I want, I want, I want. Whether it's a woman or a man, both of them are extremely possessive. Everybody wants. Nobody wants to give. See, it's not about giving. Marriage is never about giving. It is all about I want what I want. So marriages which are made like this are anyway a failure from day one itself. So here think about Hemchuda and Hemlekha. Hemchuda is saying, I have taken you to all these beautiful places. There are waterfalls, there are forests, there are birds, there's an ocean. I have taken you near the sea. I've given you whatever that was necessary. So many pleasures that were there, that people go for traveling and tourism and this and that and all that. Plus, the best, whatever is required, I have offered you. Remember, he is a king's son. So he has offered her everything. And she's said okay to everything. And on top of it all, she is not in this marriage. She is thinking of something else. She is actually lost in something else. Tell me, is this heart of yours averse to pleasure? That means, don't you like pleasures? See, if you like to eat good food, if you like to drink very good wines and all those kind of things, you want to travel, you want to do all kinds of things which is to your liking. Is it called desire from all places? Yes, it's a desire. A desire to be protected also. A desire to be taken to different places. A desire to eat and drink and be merry. And if I have fulfilled whatever number of desires that you may have, may or may not have, think about it. Has she said no to anything so far? No. She has agreed to everything. She has gone with him to every place, and yet she is remaining like a dead duck. So the prince, after many days, is worried about it. He says, I think there is something wrong. Can you please tell me? So this is where the story, the chapter has ended. Now let us see from Hemlekha's point of view, what exactly is happening. Alright? So we are doing a new chapter, chapter 4 of Tripura Rahasyam. She, the blameless Hemlekha, thus hearing the words of her lover who had encircled her neck in embrace, spoke to the prince with her mouth smiling a little. Wishing to teach the prince, she told this with proper reasoning. Prince, hear my words. I am not one having aversions for you. My mind, solely occupied in investigation, always as to what can be the most pleasant in the world and what indeed can be the most unpleasant, does not arrive at any conclusions in this matter. I ponder over this daily for a long time. On account of my womanly nature, I do not know this fact. You can tell me this truly. Now, Hemlekha is an extra smart person. So she is putting the ball in her husband's court. She is saying, see, it's not that I am not averse to pleasure. Okay? I am just telling you, whenever, whatever that is happening and whatever you are doing, and wherever we are traveling and wherever we seem to have enjoyment there, that pleasure which is there, I am thinking about it. What am I doing? I am thinking about it. I am investigating. You may be wondering, why is this investigation happening? I want you to think about this girl. Now she is called blameless. Okay? Somebody who is blameless. Blameless means an innocent person. Now she is not accustomed to any of these things. Remember, she was staying alone in the jungle under the care of Vyagrapada. So her knowledge about things supposedly is very less. She doesn't know how to live in a family. She doesn't know how to live with a husband. She doesn't have any clue of what is to be done, how things are to be done. But let me correct this sentence of you. Please understand. This is a knowledge which is imparted by the Guru also. Do you know, India is one place in the world where all the arts are taught. Do you remember attending my class, The Way of Life? In that, there are kalas and all, right? The Guru teaches everything. Literally all that is required. Whether it is archery, whether it is logic, whether it is law, whether it is love making, please understand, these are various subjects that are taught. India is one place in the world where we have temples made with all kinds of different, so-called pornographic material. If you go to any temple in India, you will find that the women and the men which are depicted on the walls over there or on the pillars, they seem to be literally like apsaras, like heavenly creatures. And they have shown all kinds of actions over there. It is not that Vyagrapada was not an educated person. He was the highest of that order. So naturally, he had taught her everything. What exactly happens, how it is there, right from ruling people also. How a kingdom will rule, politics. These are so many arts that are taught by a master. If you go to school, a regular school, the teacher will teach English. She is not going to teach another subject. Correct? So, but in this Gurukula, The Gurukula system is such. Everything under the sun that is required for the maintenance of the body, mind and the spirit is taught by the spiritual master. So even if you talk about necromancy, if you talk about magic, if you talk about any subject for that matter, the spiritual master teaches all these subjects. He gives at least an understanding of the subject. This is what it means. So we cannot say that Hemlekha was an uneducated person. She was an extra smart person, I told you that. She was a very, very smart person. She knew everything. She could stay alone in the jungle and she knew exactly what to do when everything was taught to her. But what she has done is, she has put the ball in her husband's court, saying that, you see, I was wondering, I was thinking, I was contemplating, I was investigating these pleasures which are now practically these are happening, isn't it? What she had heard from her father was not practical. It was theoretical. It was basically an ideation. Okay, this is what is there. But practically when it was happening, so she is brought to this point where she has to understand, why is it so? So at that given moment in time when all the things are happening around her, she is wondering why this is so. This pleasure and pain which is there. Now, is there pleasure? The answer is yes. Is there pain? Yes, there is pain as well. So both pleasure and pain are there, no? So when pleasure as well as pain is there, she says, I have to contemplate on this subject. I have to investigate what exactly is it happening over here. Now, the husband is listening to it. That is, Hemchuda is listening to it. And whatever she has said, she has asked a question to her husband. Do you know anything about it? See the last line where she says, I ponder over this daily for a long time on account of my womanly nature. I do not know this fact. You can tell me this truly. So she says, why does she not know this as a fact? Because whatever knowledge that she has was only theoretical knowledge. Now practically the husband is there and whatever that has happened in the last maybe a few months or weeks or whatever, she says, you are much more knowledgeable, so can you please tell me about it? Verse 5, Tripura Rahasyam, chapter 4, Hemachuda, thus told by Hemlekha, said to his beloved smiling, certainly, women are foolish. This is true. There is no doubt. Animals, birds and even creeping animals indeed know what is pleasant and what is not, since inclination towards the pleasant and aversion towards the unpleasant is indeed seen amongst them. Why is there much thinking in this matter? That from which there can be happiness is pleasant, and that from which there is sorrow is unpleasant. Why do you think constantly on this matter foolishly, my dear? So, the prince is actually not understanding what his wife is saying. So he is saying, yeah, I told you so. Women, they don't have any brains. That is the first thing that comes up, you know. You are really a foolish person. I know all women are like this. So he has made a judgment, common judgment. Okay, women don't know anything. This is male chauvinism. Alright, now, naturally he says, you know, please, come on, understand. Pleasure is pleasure and pain is pain. Pleasure is all about happiness. Even the dogs and the birds and the bees, everybody knows about this. What is it? Why are you not able to understand? See, animals, birds and even creeping animals, that means snakes and all this, they also understand. Okay? And the inclination, everybody is inclined towards the pleasant only. Nobody wants unpleasant, you know. Nobody wants pain. Everybody wants pleasure only. Isn't it? So he says, But it's such a common thing. You should know this. Why are you saying you don't know about it? So his way of thinking and telling her is, see, you are really a duffer. Okay? He's not used the word duffer, I use the word duffer. So you are really a foolish person and you don't understand anything in this world. Common sense will tell you, Why is there such a thinking in this matter? Why do you have to think about all this? What gives you happiness is pleasure only, right? And we all crave for happiness, isn't it? We all are looking for happiness and pleasant things in life. So what is this thing that you are thinking of constantly? And that's a foolish thing to do. So, Hemlekha is going to say something now. Verse 8-9. Having heard the words of her beloved, Hemlekha again said to her dear husband, it is true that women are foolish. They have no deliberation. Even then I ought to be taught by you having proper deliberation. Well instructed by you, I shall thereafter be with you constantly amidst enjoyment every day, having abandoned this thought. King, the pleasant and the unpleasant from which happiness and sorrow arise have certainly been well indicated by you having proper deliberation. The same thing alone can produce happiness and sorrow by the difference in appearance, place and time. Therefore, in such a thing, how is stability of experience possessed of certainty? So first she's pandering to her husband. She's literally putting him on a pedestal and saying, you are such a great guy. Okay? You know very well. You actually are saying the right thing. Women are foolish, I agree with you. Now, can anybody understand the sarcasm if it is coming from a very beautiful girl like this and she's talking very sweetly? The sarcasm can't be understood. Because the man is only thinking, what a duffer she is. She doesn't understand anything. Whatever I am saying, everything goes beyond her understanding, canon understanding. And now she says, yes, you are so right, And she says, I am agreeing to you. She says, women are foolish. They have no deliberation. They don't think too much. Okay? Is it true? Women don't have deliberation, or actually women have more deliberation than men. They think and think and think and think and think and think and think. And they think about thinking also. It is like that, it goes in a very big stretch. So, yet she is telling, because the husband has no idea, Hemchuda doesn't have any clue. So she says, yeah, you're right about it. And so, you should teach me about it. See, I am a poor student. You should teach me about it. Now, please remember one thing. These kind of sentences are very much there in this world. Okay? When a spiritual master is there, and there are some people who will come and talk to him as if they know too much. Okay? So they will come and they will say, Guruji, have you heard that there is this great sage, and this saint fellow is there, and he produces ash, and he does this, and he does that, and all that. I had gone to meet him that day. And Guruji is going to look at this person and say, yeah, really? I don't know. Whom are you talking about? And it is a deliberate attempt. Please understand this. It's a way of putting it across. What is this story all about? It is a story about the Guru and a Shishya. But the Guru doesn't say anything. The Guru is saying, I am an idiot. Understand this. This is how the whole thing is turning out into. But the disciple feels mighty pleased. Oh, she is agreeing to it that she is a great duffer. She doesn't have any knowledge and understanding. Look at her. She is so much right, I am great. I know everything in this world. That ego is always there. So, well instructed by you, I shall thereafter be with you constantly. She says, you instruct me in this pleasant and the unpleasant. Tell me what is this happiness all about. Then I will be with you in whatever that you say. Okay? If you tell me to do this, I will do that. If you tell me to do that, I will do that as well. But please instruct me, properly. So, you be my guru. King, the pleasant and the unpleasant from which happiness and sorrow arise have certainly been well indicated by you having proper deliberation. You have thought about it so well. Hemlekha is telling her husband, you are such a deep thinker. You actually thought about it so well. Anything that gives happiness is pleasant. Anything that gives unhappiness is unpleasant. You have actually come to the right understanding. So, can you teach me something about it? But I have one question. Why is it that one thing which gives us happiness also gives us sadness or misery? Got it? Now her questions are starting. So she says, the same thing can produce happiness and sorrow by difference in appearance, place, and time. Okay? What does this mean? I will give you in appearance, place, and time. What is appearance all about? A beautiful girl. Your thinking is, oh my God, I am getting married to a very, very beautiful person. And she is not beautiful at all in whatever other things that are needed. She doesn't have anything in the upper story. Her brain is hollow. Okay, there is nothing in it. Have you noticed those beauty queens who go for contests? When one girl was asked one question about something, she started talking about some other country. It was a simple question and she was not at all able to answer that question. She went into a complete tangent, though she was the beauty queen. She was the beauty queen of United States. Okay? So, Las Vegas or somewhere. And that particular state, she was crowned as a queen, beauty queen. You know, they have this contest. And when she had gone for this Miss Universe or Miss World, this question was asked. It's a simple, stupid question was asked. And she was not able to answer. Though she is having beauty and yet has no brains. Reminds me of a joke. You know. There was this very great playwright. Somebody who you may remember, he has written this My Fair Lady. Pygmalion is the name of the book. There was a very beautiful film called My Fair Lady. You all should watch it. So, now, George Bernard Shaw was his name. G.B. Shaw. Now, G.B. Shaw was a very ugly looking Britisher. Okay, then later on he has shifted other places and all that. So, let us come to this story. So, G.B. Shaw would be invited to different places for parties. Now, he was unmarried. Okay. So, one day when he was in a party, a very beautiful lady walks near him and says, hello Mr. Shaw, how are you and all that. And after that she says, we should get married. So he asks her why. She says, you see, we can have children with your brains and my beauty. So G.B. Shaw looks at her and says, that's okay. But suppose we have a children with my beauty and your brains, then what happens? I hope you get the joke. So this just tells you that the process is like that. So at a place, appearance is there, beauty, place is different. Now how is place different? Some things are good in some places. Now you go to a hot place in, say, India. Ice cream is very good. It is very pleasant to eat in a hot place. But suppose I want to eat ice cream in Kashmir or in the coldest place on earth. How will it be good? It is going to be very painful for me, isn't it? I am living in ice and I am eating ice cream. How is that? So place and time. Again, time is something which we cannot even understand. What is pleasant for the young people is not pleasant for the old people. And what is pleasant for the old people is not pleasant for the young ones. Correct? So there is a factor called time. So she is telling him, see, if you take these three things into consideration, how is it that the same thing, the ice cream, can cause happiness in one place and unhappiness in another place? Pleasant in one place and unpleasant in another place. So my contemplation is that, do you understand? I am thinking about it. So she says, therefore, in such a thing, how is stability of experience possessed of certainty? So how can you be certain that that object is going to be giving me happiness? I don't understand. Okay? Suppose if having sex is going to give happiness to you, but to me it is not giving any happiness. You are thinking that this is good for you, but from my point of view, it is something terrible. Because tomorrow I will be carrying the baby, you are not going to carry. For you, you are only going to be running after happiness. But I have to go after this whole story of painful carrying of the child and then giving birth to it and literally having sleepless nights. Got it? Who is going to take care of the children? So you will be up and running very fast. Whatever that you had to do was just a 2-minute job and you finished and you went away. But I have a whole lifetime of misery ahead of me. It doesn't matter to you. It matters to me. So the same thing which is giving you momentary pleasure is not pleasurable to me. I am literally in a jail for all my life. Whereas you are a free bird. You can go and get married to another person also, and you can have hundreds of women. Nothing is happening. You are not giving birth to anybody. You are not carrying a baby. You are not even having to do anything in life. But here, poor me, I have to look up. So she says that one moment of pleasure, how can you say is giving happiness to everybody? Happiness to one person, but misery to another person. And that is my contemplation. You see, I have been thinking like this. But you are such a great person. You are a person who is deliberated on all this happiness and everything. So can you please tell me? I think we can stop over here. All right?